How does the product actually drive growth? Let's dive into what growth means in product-led growth. Hey, it's Gary, 3 times head of growth. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the G in PLG. Choosing your go-to-market strategy. Really, the question you should be asking is, what is your strength? What is your company's strength? And deciding on that go-to-market strategy really depends on that. And for us, we saw an opportunity in a white space where more and more startups and SMB need compliance and SOC 2 to sell to enterprise customers. But a lot of these startups and SMBs, they don't have the resources, they don't have the funds, and they don't have the time to understand compliance or do compliance. They don't actually have the know-how. And we recognize that there's an opportunity here to adopt our product, our platform to the PLG motion to reach these folks. And it was a form of an acquisition strategy to help us drive growth using our product. And we recognize our strength is using our user experience and our product experience. I'll talk more about that a little bit. But why product-led growth? Traditionally, getting in front of these startups and SMB require a large sales force, a big outbound motion, and a lot of handholding. So without enough capital on our side, and also the small average deal size, it's often not worth it in the end. And so we came up with a strategy to scale our acquisition and drive growth through the product itself. When we talk about growing with the product, it means perfecting that product experience and learning and iterating as we go. In my previous post, I talked about what product really mean in product-led growth. And that means leading with the product and what you have in the product. And a large part of that is automating and scaling all that touch points we have with our startups and SMB customers. And I'll break it down. In the beginning, we just didn't know much. We thought that, hey, just launching what we think is a good product experience is enough, and people would just sign up because the offer is so compelling. And that was really just the first half of that equation. And when we started our PLG journey, we didn't know a lot of things. What we recognized, we started to figure out that by using our superhuman onboarding that I talk about in other posts, the superhuman onboarding became our learning flywheel. Through these onboarding calls and the learning flywheel, we quickly identify frequently asked questions by our customers and our users, common objections, levers on how to sell and package, and our pricing model, ways to maximize our deal size, and the challenges with the product user experience and the navigation. What's kind of are the barriers of them activating? And every superhuman onboarding call, we started implementing these improvements, and we kept at it despite how difficult it was in the beginning. Because in the beginning, we had like this confidence, and we were trying to go sell to the customers, and they weren't budging, and they weren't as receptive. And slowly but surely, we put our pride aside, we set our ego aside, we started to learn, we started to tackle, and it's through a lot of superhuman onboarding calls, that learning flywheel, that eventually we figured it out. And based on what we learned and the feedbacks we received, we started to work with engineers and designers to make a smoother onboarding experience, making sure that the customers are activating. And a lot of that also means creating self-serve documentation, interactive video, creating a community. We iterated on our sales pitch, our story, ways for us to anchor the customer and improve that onboarding call, and everything to help get the customers and the end user to trust us and feel reassured. And we knew the growth started to happen, and customers were using the product. They were inviting their colleagues and employees to use it, and that was a big internal networking effect, right? Because we're overcoming the trust hump. We're hitting the paywalls. They were hitting the paywalls and starting to buy, starting to hand raise. We're getting those revenues, those signs of signals that things are working out. We're reassuring them they're using it, and they want it. They want more. And then we're letting other folks know in their network, and that signify a lot of that virality and word of mouth growth. After 6 to 9 months of iterating, experimenting, learning, and improving, we finally figured it out. And those growth signals started to come in, and we took a lot of time to create that polished product experience. And we were launching and iterating and talking to customers as we went along. And in my earlier post, I mentioned that 40% of our landing page sign up came from word of mouth marketing. People were hearing about us from other customers. They're seeing our branding. We're being recommended as a product that's accessible and more affordable alternative in forums and communities. So all this growth is coming in, and it's helping us improve our brand, lowering our acquisition costs, and scale all these folks coming in as high volume of startups and SMB customers. And now we have a refined product experience that can handle objections, because we learned what they are, and we are overcoming them. We have a low touch support. Customers understand that this is a PLG motion. They understand from the get go that expectation is they will get a low touch support. And if they're willing to invest more, they will get a premium support. And it's also a clear funnel to get signups, activate, onboard, and sell. We can start to see those numbers coming in, and we're starting to do growth accounting, activation analysis, funnel optimizations, and we're also creating opportunities to create beachhead strategies on around different verticals and industry. We're starting to also test different types of packaging and pricing and new product line offering, and that's growth. That is product-led growth. Follow me on growthwithgary.com, or feel free to subscribe here to learn more about how to execute PLG, lead and operate and launch and be successful in SaaS.